I remember meeting with a borrower and her sales were up and she was wondering, well, why don't I have any money? Growth does not create cash, it consumes cash. You used to have to pay your vendors, your suppliers, sometimes before you get paid. And so
Absolutely.
somehow people think that if you have sales growth that creates cash, it consumes cash. At some point, if you continue to be profitable, it will catch up and you will have cash flow, but it consumes cash. I don't think people understand that entirely.
I'll jump on the word character, sorry,
Right ahead.
that she mentioned. Character, again, going back to the own personal finances. How many of us have a personal financial statement where you know your net worth on at any given day? Your house, your car, your valuables, what they're worth versus what you owe. What you spend on a month-to-month basis, having a monthly expense report or a spending plan, setting yourself up for success in that way. If you start with yourself, start with that big word, character, your reputation, who you are, if you present that to Laura, again, she will be your advocate, but if you have a shady history and you're not confident in your situation, then you have to put yourself, again, in their shoes and see if they would be as confident in you as well. So I would start with character, start with your own personal, take care of that, get a spending plan put together, develop your own personal financial statement, bring that along with you. Not just a business plan, but a spending plan for yourself, so that in the event that you do need additional capital, you have it. You have your own set aside for emergencies.
I would have one other comment. I liked a term that was used, a couple terms, be authentic and be humble. And when I used to work for Wisconsin Women's Initiative, Business Initiative Corp. in the Milwaukee area, which is the largest microlender in the state. And I've been to seen hundreds of loans go through that and go through their loan committee. There were borrowers that really probably had everything they needed to make their business a success, but the way they presented themselves to the loan committee showed that they weren't willing to take advice. They weren't willing to consider a different way of doing things, and those loans either got turned down in committee or those businesses failed. So being authentic and being humble and being willing to take advice and willing to learn from somebody else is really, really important.
Anything, Marty?
I would say, do your homework. Learn about the bank, learn about their policies, ask questions that they're not going to expect. Like, if you would ask a banker what their loan policy says about their advancement on a piece of real estate, they'd probably be in shock. But you need to ask those kind of questions, because that's what is, that's what's driving them. Put them in in their shoes. How do they measure character? The only way they can measure character is looking at your personal credit report. How else would you do it if you don't know someone?